What's going on, nMo fans? This is your host Alex Lexus with Nelson Rios of Fighting Game League and Demizzle. Now, this is going to be one of my last topics until we're gonna do mini shorts, but I'm gonna be away on duty, so we're just trying to knock out all the fighting game topics right now. But today we're going to cover a couple of things. We're going to be discussing Accent Core plus R. I mean, it's a long-ass name, so I just... we're going to be also discussing a topic that Black Dragon from YouTube kind of brought to my attention. I actually put a link to his video on there because he made some great points. And, what should have been in this 25th anniversary collection. And then finally, Nelson and I are going to actually display some videos on some things that really need fine-tuning in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Alright, so, first things first, the new Guilty Gear. Now, most of you don't know I'm really good in Guilty Gear. That was actually my game. I made certain people stop playing it. I'm like, Yeah, I was that good in that game. But now, considering how Capcom likes to say oversaturation of the market, you haven't seen a lot of Guilty Gear games. But part of that is because, Arc Systems lost the rights to Guilty Gear temporarily to Sega, and then they reacquired it. And that's just some, behind-the-scenes corporate stuff that you guys don't know about. So that's kind of our job to, bring this stuff to the front lines. But the locations testing is going to be starting between June 2nd and the 3rd. And I'm eager to see, the changes that are going to be made. I'm actually waiting for the live arcade release that's due out sometime this summer. But Nelson, what information can you shed on the new Guilty Gear, and then I'll give the floor to Demizzle.
Well, basically, from what I'm hearing, it's a mixture of all three games that is going to be presented to us. It's basically from me and you used to play. We used to play Guilty Gear X, XX Reloaded. And then we're going to get the Accent Core style, and then we're going to get the Plus style, which is a mixture of both. And it's supposed to be a full hands-on Xbox and PSN launch sometime around mid-June or early July. And it has Xbox Live and PSN online capabilities. It has a lobby system. You can stream and preview matches, replays. It's a full hands-on experience, and to bring back the game so they can do a full remake to put Blaze Blue to rest, from what I'm hearing.
Well, did you hear the rumor that once the true sequel to Guilty Gear after Guilty Gear Overture comes out, there's talk of a crossover between BlazBlue and Guilty Gear? I would love to see this. I mean that would be some awesome stuff. But since the systems are similar yet different, I wonder if they have to make a new system just to even put Ragnar, Jin against Soul, Kai, and the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
I would love to see an Iron Tiger versus Potemkin.
Definitely.
Some crazy ass. That'd be some crazy stuff. But Demizzle, what do you have to shed some light on this new Guilty Gear release?
Well, first of all, when you said they about the crossover, they don't really need to make a new system to accommodate both styles. You can just do it CVS2 style, where you can choose between which system you want to fight in, instead of having to make an entirely new system for the game. That would be the best thing to do.
Okay, that does make sense, but it's also going to put a lot of stress on Arc Systems, because now you're going to have the characters, if they're going to fight in the opposite style, let's say the Blaze Blue guys fighting in Guilty Gear style, now you have to fine-tune it so that they fit, their moves and their properties fit in that system, and vice versa with the Guilty Gear guys playing in Blaze Blue style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. It's not an impossible task. Like, look what Capcom and SNK did with Capcom versus SNK 2. They had like six screws, and everybody fought. And it wasn't like, oh, the Capcom players can only fight in the Capcom styles, and the SNK styles players can only fight in SNK.
Yeah.
So that if you take the time out and do it right, it'll match up perfectly. But as Nelson said, I think this is a game that's going to prove to Capcom that you need to sit back, take your time, and do the damn thing right, because that's what Arc Systems is known for. They're known for like taking a good long while with their fighting game so it comes out just right. They're not gonna rush it out like a certain game that we'll be discussing later.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what? To give Arc Systems credit, when most of you fighting game fans that don't venture out of fighting games, Arc Systems took on the mantle of creating the new Contra remake, and you know it's called Hardcore Uprising, and it's a definite recommend. You gotta play it. It's out for live arcade right now. It's almost as if you got Soul Bad Guy with a gun, and you know what I mean, running around with the air dashing, and you know you got Bikin look-alike with the eye patch, and it's I mean Arc Systems, like Demizzle says, very they craft their products really well. They forge it into something that is great, and I've never really seen too many issues. I mean, I'm sure in certain Guilty Gear combo videos you have the dust loop combos, but can you do those in matches? You know what I mean? You don't really see that too much, although I know it's possible, but it's not.
it's extremely rare.
Yeah, it's more like a Skullgirls. It's like it's really, you know, tight. It's really tight. But you know, I'm looking forward to this no Guilty Gear. You know, and I can't wait. You know, they can't get here soon enough. Guilty Gear was my game. You know, hopefully, you know, this will take me away from some broken titles that, like Demizzle said, we're going to be discussing later.
It's all about jam, son. It's all about jam. That's all I have to say.
All right, now, fans, shifting gears. Shout out to Black Dragon 79 on YouTube. You know, he's on my radar. We're gonna hook up eventually, and you know, I'd like to bring him on staff with nMo because he knows his stuff. You know what I mean? He's an older gamer like us, you know, and he sees past the bullshit. So basically, the Street Fighter 25th anniversary collection.
Oh boy.
Now, I'm gonna after I give my points, Demizzle's gonna give his and Nelson afterwards. Here's my my 2 cents on this anniversary collection. It is a waste. It's an insult to the Street Fighter franchise. You wanna know why? I'm about to tell you. You're getting all this extra content, and okay, let's say for those of us who already own those titles that are they're selling, I mean, wow. Hyper HD Remix, Third Strike Online. What else is coming in? It's Super Street Fighter 4 and
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken with the 12 characters. Apparently, there's supposed to be some unlocked code. Now, what the hell do Tekken characters have to be doing or involved with the Street Fighter 25th anniversary collection? I mean, you know what I mean? That's what I was talking about in the other videos when I rage out. Like, who the fuck is working in their marketing? I mean, whoever, I'm telling you, it's just like when I put the spoof with the monkeys running around. It's like, who out there in Capcom is thinking of, hey, this is a great idea? No, it's not. I mean, shit. What they should have done was take every Street Fighter that was ever made, put it in, like, you know, filter, HD it up. I mean, give me Fighting Street. Give me Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, or give me a Street Fighter 2 with all the Street Fighter grooves in it, like that anniversary collection that we got for the Xbox. Okay? Then, if you're gonna move to Third Strike, give us all the Third Strike games. You know what I mean? Give me New Generation, Double Impact, Third Strike. You know what I mean? Put it in one game where we get all the stages, where we get all the music. I know they're trying with Third Strike Online, but it's still Third Strike. You know what I mean? It's not Double Impact. It's not the New Generation with the elaborate stages and things like that. You know, give me like the Alpha Anthology. You know, give me Alpha 1, 2, and 3 in there. You know, or hell, even throw the EX plus Alpha. I mean, these are things that Black Dragon, he jogged my memory with it. I'm like, damn, 25 years worth of Street Fighter content, and you only get 4 games? You get 4 games and all this content that, you know, some of us who've been devout Street Fighter fans already have. Selling the same shit over and over. I mean, really, like Capcom is trying to make as much profit with as little work as possible. And considering that if it's a 25th anniversary collection, you're supposed to be catering to those who have been on the Street Fighter boat since the beginning. You know what I mean? Like some people who are new, they can probably just jump in there and say, "Hey, this is cool. It's only 5th anniversary, fine." But those of us that already have the shit, it's not really worth our fancy. You know what I mean? But before I continue on the rant, the missile, I give you the floor.
Like, you've covered pretty much everything what I was about to say about the games, but I'm gonna jump over to the anime side, what they did, because they're also including Street Fighter Alpha Generations anime and Street Fighter 2V anime and the Street Fighter 2 movie. And it's not like
you know what? I don't mean to interject. I heard Street Fighter V was not on it. It was the USA cartoon. That piece of shit cartoon is gonna be in there, but they don't put Street Fighter V.
Oh my goodness. Well, in that case, let's it's time to go in on it. Like, they could have did the anime side so much better, because like Street Fighter 2 movie, because I remember I showed this to Alex. I was like the first one to show it to him back in the day.
What was that, 99, 98, 99? When we saw that in high school?
Yeah, I brought it to high school, showed it to him, introduced it to him, and it's been out for about 3 years before that. And it turned them on to it, and it turned a lot of people on to Street Fighter, because that is like a terrific anime movie, and they could have included that. They could have included soundtracks. Like, this is supposed to be your anniversary. You have to show out. Street Fighter has some of the best video game music out there in the anime and in the video game world, and they include none of that.
And you know what, Demizo, to add to that, remember that Street Fighter PC game that you had with the Red Book music?
Yeah.
You know what? Where's that? Where's that? I mean, hell, there's just so much they could have done with this. It's just they're, cutting corners.
They shouldn't even call it the Street Fighter 25th Anniversary Collection. They just call it Street Fighter Last 3 Years Collection. That's what it is. It's just bullshit, man. They just fucked up. They could have included artwork, all this stuff. They have all this Street Fighter stuff that they could have included, and even like side games that's connected to Street Fighter, like Saturday Night Slam Masters
and Final Fight.
And like, you could have included like the Ring of Destruction that never came out to the United States. You could have included the shitty Final Fight Revenge game that came out on Saturn that never came out to the United States. Could have included all this stuff, but just the last 3 years. If you want to go by the last 3 years, Capcom is not doing a good job, and that's not the foot you want to put forward.
Yeah, amen to that. But Demizo, for time's sake, Nelson, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Here we go. First off, like Alex said, there's not enough content to satisfy my hunger right now. First off, you guys has been out for more than 2 fucking decades. You should be able to fulfill our needs to put every Capcom title that's been a fighter, even the shit ones. I can give a fuck less if we had a Capcom Fighting Jam or God knows what else they made, but they should have just put all those games in there. All the game soundtracks, which they kind of did, but not for all of the Street Fighters, because they did miss out on some. I'm not going to mention that. That would take too long. But they missed out on that. The movies are edited, just to let you know. They're not uncut. They are all edited. So there's no new Chun-Li scene, none of that nonsense. Also,
and they use the horrible American music and not the Japanese music.
Exactly. There's also no Japanese switch over for like dubbing, so you guys won't be getting that.
What the hell, really?
Also, with the whole Street Fighter Cross Tekken thing, if you guys think like, oh, I can pre-order this and get it before everyone else, you'll be getting it the same time as everyone else because the code is locked to a certain date. So you guys are fucked on that. Also, with all the content that you got from AE and all this other stuff, that's kind of pointless. We got it already, so you basically want us to buy your $150-something product to games that I already had, or I can just, no offense, download them on emulator and play them for free. Like, come on, guys. Like, seriously?
I'm telling you, all they had to do was go back to the vault, bring back Street Fighter 1, bring back the alpha games, put that on with some sort of GGPO support.